Well, good morning. Welcome. So go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position. And as you settle into your seat, you might be sitting cross legged, similar to how I'm sitting. You might be sitting in another way, but sit in a way that is fairly comfortable for your hips, your knees, and your back. And then as you allow your eyes to close, begin to check in with how you're feeling today. Notice if there are any particular physical sensations that you're aware of in this moment, whether you're practicing with me live or later on the replay. Check to see how you're feeling in this moment, which might include becoming aware of any areas of your body that need special attention as you move. Maybe there's an injury that you're working with. Remembering always to take care of yourself. And if anything doesn't feel right in your body, you can always skip it. You can also leave a comment if you would like suggestions about how to do something in a different way. And I'll certainly address those at the end. But as you're checking in, begin to also breathe in a way that supports awareness of the present. And typically that means noticing the inhalation, what parts of your body are expanding and broadening as you're breathing in. And then as you're breathing out, notice where you have awareness of the sensations of exhaling. What parts of the body are drawing inwards towards the center of your being as you breathe out. And so just notice and observe a few cycles of breath flowing in through the nose, down in the direction of the belly. Perhaps the belly even expands a little bit as you breathe in. Exhale, drawing the navel back in toward the spine, sending the breath back up and out through your nose. All right, we'll bring our palms together in front of the heart, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. Start to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right a few times, gently tugging on your fingers as you elongate each side of the body. All right, release your hands down to the floor. Walk the right hand out, lean into your right hand, take your left hand to your left shoulder, and start to circle a few times. So your elbow is drawing a big circle in space in order to rotate through your shoulder. All right, change direction, same arm. All right, and then sweep your left arm up alongside your head. Reaching with your left hand, squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. A couple of times each way. All right, with your next inhale, lift up. And exhale, release the left hand down to the floor, then slide it out. Lean into your left hand. Take your right hand to your right shoulder. Start to rotate. So your elbow draws a big circle in space, so that you really become aware of the sensation in the right shoulder and everything attached to it, like your chest, your neck, your back. All right, and change directions. All right, and then sweep your right arm up alongside your head. Reaching with your right hand, squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. All right, then with your next in breath, rise up. And with your out breath, release your hand. All right, now take your hands behind your back Interlace the fingers there, squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening up across the chest. Maybe your arms are straightening out here, or maybe you keep a bend in your elbows. Either way, sensing this opening across the chest and across the fronts of the shoulders. All right, begin to turn your head gently from side to side. And then reach your chin up and down toward the chest. Again, lifting up and dropping down. And then one more lift and drop. All right, bring the head to center, release the hands to come and rest on your thighs, and then shrug your shoulders up, take them back and down. Again, shrugging up and back and down, and then one more time up and back and down. All right, now we'll transition onto our hands and knees. All right, so as you come to hands and knees, put your hands under your shoulders, and then we'll do close together. All right, then lift your left knee up and out to the side, and then start to rotate. So much like we did with the shoulders, let your left knee now draw a big circle in order to rotate through your left hip. A couple of times in one direction, and a couple of times the opposite way. All right, with your next inhale, reach your left leg back. Exhale, left knee into the chest, round your back. Again, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee into the chest. One more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. So as you take your left leg back this time, just keep it lifted up into the air. So just about the same height as your torso. And then we'll take the right arm forward. So left leg and right arm. Top of the head reaches forward, so your neck is nice and long. And then take your right hand out to the side. And then right hand to your low back, maybe up to the mid back if your shoulder allows that range of motion. Keep that left leg lifted and strong. You might imagine that your left leg is pushing up against something. So you want to feel that the back of your leg is nice and strong. And then take that right arm back out to the side. And forward. And then down to the floor. Now cross your left leg over your right leg, drop your toes, and then curve the spine to the right. So you're peeking back over your right shoulder at your left foot. Creating this side bend from your left foot all the way up to your shoulder. You might spin your fingers out a little bit here to make it slightly easier on your wrists, if helpful. Take one more breath. All right, now bring your torso back to neutral. Pick your left leg up and step it out to the left side, directly out from your hip. And then walk your hands in, lifting up. We'll take the left hand to rest on the left leg. Sweep the right arm up alongside the head. Sensing now into the right side of the body. Squeeze and release the right fingers again if you have a sense of tension in your wrist. Sometimes being on hands and knees is a little tiring for some, not all. All right, the next time you inhale, lift up. And exhale, release that right arm. Now take a couple of big steps forward with your left foot. Coming into a long lunge, so let your hips start to go forward. And then right hand down to the floor. Could be right palm, like a flat palm on the floor. You might be on a fist to straighten your wrist and support it a little better. Or if you have a block, you could put your block underneath your right hand. And then left hand to left thigh, just start to gently twist your torso towards that left leg. Hips are dropping down and forward. Begin to turn your head to look back. All right, one more breath. All right, release back to hands and knees. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, tuck your toes under, lift your knees. Take your hips up into the air as we come into downward facing dog. Give your head a little shake out, yes and no. Bend and straighten at the knee. One heel toward the floor, opposite knee bends. As you sense into your legs, your ankles, your feet. Up into your torso, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers. All right, then release down to your knees. Again, knees together. Lift your right knee this time up and out to the side. And then start to rotate through your hip. Drawing a big circle with that right knee. A couple of times in one direction. And then a couple of times the opposite way. All right, so the next time you inhale, reach your right foot back. As you exhale, pull your right knee into your chest and round your back. Again, inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee into the chest. One more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. As you take your right leg back this time, cross it over the left leg. Drop the toes to the floor. Curve your spine to the left as you peek out over your left shoulder at your right foot. Creating that side bend in the right side of the body from the foot to the shoulder. Again, you might spin your fingers out, make it a little easier on your wrists as you do this. All right, then bring your torso back to neutral. Pick your right leg up, step it all the way out to the right side this time, so directly out from your right hip. Walk your hands in, lifting up. Now we'll take the right hand to rest on the right leg and left arm up alongside the head. Once again, squeeze and release the fingers of that left hand, letting go of any tension that has built up there. All right, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, release your left arm, and then take a couple of steps or one big step forward with your right foot. Bending that right knee, shift your hips forward as you come into that long lunge. Left hand down to the floor, maybe as a flat palm, maybe up on a fist, or put your hand on a block if you have one. All right, so right hand to right thigh as you gently twist toward your right leg. Hips are dropping down and forward. Belly slightly engaged to help support. Head turns to look back. Take a couple rounds of breath. All right, and then release back to hands and knees. One more time, we'll tuck our toes under and lift up into downward dog. Again, lift and lower the heels a few times. Bend and straighten at the knees a few times. All right, start to walk your feet forward towards your hands. As you come into your forward fold, bend your knees a little bit, lay the belly on the thighs, release the weight of the head, gently shake it yes and no. All right, walk your hands up the fronts of your legs, rising up to stand. And then we'll take our feet about hip distance apart. As we inhale, press the hips back. Take the arms up. And then as you exhale, press through your heels, rise up to stand, and reach your arms back in space. So much like we did when we were interlacing the fingers, we're opening up through the chest and across the fronts of the arms. Again, inhale, press the hips back, arms come up. Move the weight back toward your heels. Balance it out left to right. And then exhale, press through your heels, rise up nice and slow, and reach the arms back. Open up through the chest. All right, one more, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, now we'll keep the right foot forward. Step back with your left foot. And then as you organize your feet, let the right foot be in the right sort of lane of the mat and the left foot in the left lane of the mat. It's much more difficult to balance if both of your feet are on the center line of the mat, so let your 2 feet have some width, side to side as well as length, front to back. All right, so dropping the weight evenly into both of your feet, take your arms forward and let your palms touch. All right, becoming aware of the connection of your palms to each other and your feet to the floor. Rise up through the crown of the head, get really long through your spine. And take a breath in here as you feel the space between your shoulder blades expand. And then as you exhale, twist to the right, sending your right arm out and back. Again, as you inhale, palms come back together. Inflate the space between your shoulder blades. And exhale as you twist to the right. All right, one more time, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, now as you inhale, bring the palms back together. And then as you exhale, take your arms behind the back. Now you can grab a hold of your forearms or your elbows, just so that your arms are kind of contained behind your back. All right, now as you inhale, lift your chest up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, begin to slowly fold forward, but lead with your chest. Try to keep your torso nice and long as you fold over your right leg. We'll do this a few times before we hold. Inhale, push into that front foot, lift up, lift your chest up toward the sky. Exhale as you fold. All right, one more. Inhale, press into your front foot, lift your heart. And exhale and fold. Now pause at whatever point in this fold that you have some sensation in the back of your right leg, but you're not completely collapsing and dropping the torso all the way forward. So we want to maintain a little bit of activity through the back here instead of just collapsing forward. So shoulder blades drawing together, back is strong, press firmly through both feet, top of the head reaching forward, right hip pulling back in space. One more breath in and out. All right, let your right knee bend as you push into that right foot, lift up, release the arms, give them a little shake out. And then we'll switch sides. So step your left foot forward and then right foot back. Again, orient your feet so that each foot is essentially in its own lane, side to side. And you've got a decent amount of distance between your feet, maybe a couple of feet. All right, take the arms forward. Let your palms touch, simultaneously feeling the palms connected with each other and the feet connected with the floor. Breathe in deeply, expanding the space between your shoulder blades. Exhale as you twist to the left. Send your left arm out and back. Again, with your inhale, palms come back together. Exhale and twist. All right, one more like that. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, now as you inhale, bring your palms back together. And then we'll exhale and take the arms behind the back. Take hold of your elbows or your forearms, whatever is comfortable to grab behind your back as you essentially contain your arms in the back side of your body so that you maintain this sense of openness across your chest as we fold. All right, as you inhale, reach your heart up. Exhale, begin to slowly fold over your left leg. We'll do this a couple of times before holding. Inhale, rise up. Heart lifts to the sky. Exhale as you fold, nice and slow. All right, one more, breathing in. And breathing out. Now stop about halfway folded forward. Your legs are still strong, feet pressing into the earth. Top of the head reaching forward, shoulder blades moving toward each other. Maintaining a sense of strength in your back as you bring your torso forward. Check in with that left hip and feel it pulling back in space. Sometimes our hips want to kind of droop out to the left, but really press the left hip back in space. Firm into both feet. Take another breath. All right, intentionally bend your left knee, push into that left foot, lift up, and release your arms, give them a little shake out. All right, now as you step forward, do a little standing balance pose. So if you want to be near a wall or a table or a chair that you can take one hand to for balancing support, feel free to move so that you're close to that support. And then we'll shift the weight into the right foot. And just start by bending your left knee and let your left knee point slightly forward. So just a tiny bit of weight in that left ball of the foot, most of the weight in your right foot. And this would be a point at where you might take one hand to a wall or a chair if needed. All right, so keep taking the weight into that right foot. Perhaps experiment with lifting your left foot up. If you need a little bit more challenge than that, maybe bring your left thigh all the way parallel to the floor. And if you're bringing your left thigh all the way up, flex your left foot so it's very active, as though that left foot was in contact with a surface. All right, so whether your left foot is up or down, now take your left arm up toward the ceiling and your right arm forward. Spread the fingers wide apart. All right, if your left leg is lifted, or even if your left foot is down on the floor, you can add a twist here if you'd like. So this is an option. Take that left arm back in space so that you're twisting toward your left leg. So left arm reaching back in space, right hand reaches further forward. And again, the left foot could be up or down if you want to add the twist, but most of the weight in terms of the feet is in your right foot. All right, one more cycle of breath. All right, release the arms, release your left foot. Give your right leg a little shake out. And then we'll do the other side. This time, shifting your weight into your left foot. Bend the right knee. You're going to be on the ball of the right foot. Most of the weight in that left leg. Again, perhaps one hand is near a wall or a chair or another surface if you want a little bit of balancing support. All right, so ball of the right foot down or right thigh lifted. If your right thigh is lifted, activate your right foot. All right, then we'll take the right arm up alongside the head, reaching toward the ceiling, and then take your left arm forward. All right, now whether your right foot is up or down, you can stay here or add the twist, taking that right arm back in space. As the right arm is reaching back, the left arm is reaching forward. So you have that sense of both hands kind of being pulled in opposite directions. All right, take another breath in and out. All right, and then release your arms. Release your right leg. Give your left leg a little shake out. All right, and then we'll step near the back of the mat. We're going to make our way back down to the floor. Take a breath in, press your hips back, float your arms up, one more chair pose. And then as you exhale, fold over your legs, walk out to one more downward facing dog. So hips up into the air, face and jaw relax. All right, then release down to your knees and come all the way down onto your back. And as you come onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze. Rock a little side to side. Gently massaging your low back, back of your head, really your entire back. All right, let your left leg straighten along the floor. Cross the right knee over toward the floor on the left. So you're just rolling onto your left hip. And then take that right arm back over to the right. So that as you come into your twist, gently turn your head a few times side to side. Experiment with the angle of your right arm, so you might take it higher or lower, depending on how it feels in your right shoulder. If you find that you need or want support underneath your right knee or your right arm, feel free to put a blanket or block or pillow of some kind underneath that right knee or arm. And then allow your whole body to relax into this twist. Feeling all of the support of the floor and any props you might be using to support your body. All right, take one more round of breath. All right, guide that right leg back through center. Keeping the right knee bent for the moment, let it drop out to the right side, dropping heavy into the floor. All right, then slowly straighten that right leg along the floor. Take your left knee into your chest. Cross it over towards the floor on the right. Stack your hips. And then take your left arm back over to the left. Again, experiment with the height of your left arm. Find an interesting angle of sensation. For that left shoulder, let your head gently sway a few times, side to side, finding a comfortable place for the head and neck to rest. And of course, as you're twisting here, if you want support underneath the left arm or the left knee, feel free to use whatever you have, whether it's a block or a pillow or a blanket, a stack of books, perhaps. And just let yourself rest into support. All right, one more round of breath. And then let your left knee come back through center. Keep the knee bent as you drop your left knee out to the side. Pause a moment for a breath or two. All right, and then bend both knees. Take the feet to the floor, but take them wider than your hips, and then drop your knees in toward each other. We'll conclude our practice today with a breathing practice, focusing on elongating the exhale. All right, so your hands could be resting on your belly or the floor, or maybe your arms are up alongside your head. Sometimes that feels nice too. But as you next inhale, breathe in to the count of 3. Hold your breath inside for 3 more counts. And then exhale to the count of 6. Again, inhale to 3. Hold for 3. And exhale for 6. Inhale to 3. Hold for 3. Exhale for 6. Now take a few more cycles of breath in the same way. Just go at your own speed. One more cycle of breath. All right, after that long exhale, release the control of the breath so that you're breathing in and out without restriction. Again, noticing how you feel in this moment, what physical sensation might be present, as well as what thoughts or emotions might be present for you. And then when you become ready, roll to one side. Pause there for a moment Take a breath or two or 10. And again, when you're truly ready, press yourself up. Come back into a seated position. We'll bring our palms together in front of the heart as we bow to the light within ourselves as well as each other. Thank you again for practicing with me today. Um, the next one will be next Wednesday. So Wednesdays and Saturdays this month, and then there'll be a little shift to the schedule in May for at least the month of May. I'm going to do Mondays at 4. So see you next time. Bye bye.